everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you all are keeping yourselves safe in this time of world pandemic. During this lockdown, I've mostly been watching movies and documentaries of different genres. I've personally always enjoyed watching documentaries of any kind, mainly due to the never seen before footage that we get to witness. I just finished watching a documentary series on Amazon Prime called The Test, a new era of Australian cricket. As all of you might be aware, there's no live sporting action happening anywhere around the world as of now due to the current situation. So I thought that this series should be on the watch list of all cricket star fans around the world who need some decent viewing during this time of lockdown. So I thought I should share my opinion on why the newly released The Test documentary should be on the watch list and why it is worth the binge. So The Test, it is a narrative based on a journey of redemption that is 18 months long in real life of the Australian cricket team, following the Sandpaper incident and its transition to retain its legacy and integrity since the outbreak with the conclusion of last summer Ashes series. The series begins with the Aussies mired in one of the biggest ball tampering scandal in the cricketing history. So what actually happened was Australia's Bancroft was caught on camera trying to change the condition of the ball by using sandpaper. This incident astonished all the cricketing fans around the world. It was also a biggest setback for the Australian team because after this incident, their coach Darren Lehman chose to resign and Captain Steve Smith, Vice Captain David Warner were banned for 12 months while Bancroft was banned for 9 months by the country's cricketing board from any sort of cricket. When Australians were badly seeking for a new savior who could get them out of this mess and take them forward to retain their legacy and integrity, a former Australian opening batsman, Justin Langer, stepped up. He was appointed as the new coach. He was given a new team with the surprise appointment of Tim Payne as the new Test captain. I'm not going to give you the spoiler for all the episodes, otherwise I'll be going on and on, which I actually don't want to do in this case. However, the subsequent episodes shows all the behind the scene footages of the drama and the struggle faced by the newly built Australian side and the emotions of winning and losing matches with the informed opponents while its attempt to rehabilitate their image. And it also promises to give you an insight into their dressing room, practice matches, coaches meeting, which highlights the hard work and brainstorming, and it is actually quite interesting to see how they interact as a team. Though this is not a featured film, I think this documentary surely hits a few necessary emotions. The Test emotional content comes from the players who are making their debuts. They all start with the dream of playing for the country, while only a very few deserving ones get to fulfill it. The bit where Nathan Lyon hands a Travis Head and another very amazing moment where Michael Hussey hands Marcus Labuschagne the baggy green is one of the high points of the series. Some of the moments we get to witness behind the scenes are truly remarkable. Gaining an understanding of Smith's insatiable lust for runs, watching Tim Payne's approach towards captaincy are all fascinating. Aaron Finn's confidence crisis while watching Adam Zampa's coffee routine provides a novel look at life on tour. Every single episode has so much of integrity for these players. Another rather fascinating scene from the series is the spell off Jofra Archer in the Lord during the Ashes test. Great sports begets great drama. The bouncer that hits Steve Smith's head made his teammates immediately recall the incident of Phil Hughes, due to which a sight of worry and fear ran through their dressing room. Actually, the Ashes is really where the series reaches its climax, and that is when it really gets interesting. Star of the show is their coach Justin Langer. Just like the team, the series also sheds a light on his journey as a coach. At first, he tries to do too much, coming across as a very dominating figure with the sole purpose of getting the best out of his team. He also had the responsibility of installing a set of values and changing the culture of the team, which was heavily criticized post the scandal. He was very demanding. He wanted his team to fight till the end. In a way, it was understandable what he was trying to do. However, later Usman Khwaja confronted with him over his approach towards his training style and how things needed to be changed. Despite being the head coach and of that stature, he kept calm. He always positioned the team in front. In one of the episodes, the player comments on how the coach has mellowed down since the time he first came in. When you listen to his own version of events and the way he thinks, you will realize how humble and passionate he is actually in the job he does. Looking back at what the team has achieved in this short period, it's hard to see anyone else be able to correct the wrongs of the past with so much of determination as the head coach. While the documentary has a lot of screen time dedicated towards around Langer's reign as Australian coach ever since the scandal, it was Steve Smith who stole the show when the narrative is complete. Despite knowing that the crowd was against him with the constant booing and calling him cheater by the English audience, he was really not affected. He was more focused, he was more calm, he was more dedicated. He had an Ashes series only a few could dream of, with a back-to-back century, and the fact that it actually came on his comeback from the ban made it extra special. Given that this documentary series is co-produced by Cricket Australia, the governing body for professional and amateur cricket in Australia, we may tend to wonder whether it is merely propaganda disguised as documentary. Given that the Australian cricket had never been in a greater need of a PR campaign than after the Cape Town scandal, but there is actually a journey at play here. I watched one of the videos where we had his word that the Cricket Australia did not in any way interfere in the making of the show. I loved the documentary. I found parts of it incredibly exciting and very emotional. Each of those 8 episodes had its story focused on some kind of match or series of cricket. Respect to the film crew, which is led by Adrian Brown. Footage from the various tours used rather skillfully. The footage from inside the camp is excellent, particularly during the test matches, where the emotional toll of 5 days, the tension of game's final few sessions, uniqueness of the game's longest format with the drawn out agony of defeat, tension of tight matches, and the unparalleled satisfaction of victory are all present at various points in the series. It provides a perfect illustration of the emotional turmoil involved in the game and the perfect response to those who believe that the test matches are dull. Even if you're not that interested in the sport itself, it is very hard not to become hooked onto the personalities and hence to be soaked into the drama. If you dislike the Australian cricket team, by the time you finish the series, you would end up loving them. It was super intriguing watching it, and I am so glad I loved each and every episode. If I had to rate it out of 10, I will give it a 7. The fact that this was a 8-part series, a lot could have been covered. The players did speak about how they had to endure the constant pressure to perform, the frustration of touring, leaving their families behind on special moments, and dealing with failures. However, there were issues which were not explored much. The makers should have gone a bit into depth into players' mental health and their well-being. Additionally, it would be wonderful if we could get an insight on how Smith, Warner, and Bancroft coped up with their lives after their suspension by their Cricket Australia. Nevertheless, The Test is an entertaining, a binge-worthy series about a cricket team trying to find a new identity under a new coach while also coping with the injurious demand of winning matches across the globe. The Test is one of the finest sports documentaries to emerge on streaming service in recent time. If you're looking for something interesting to watch at home during the lockdown, create an Amazon Prime account or take the free 7 days trial and binge the whole series. It would be well worth every second. You can thank me later on after you finish watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please stay tuned to my channel.